wanted to enter into Setarako camp to abduct some staff of the Setarako company. We had the information, we sent our men not knowing that they have laid ambush on the road. And as they were going into the company, they met heavy resistance from these bandits. They opened fire, exchanged gun fire. In the process, we lost 3 soldiers and 4 policemen.
Well, that's where we'll be starting off to today's conversations on Zamfara state security situation there. Also, Commissioner of Police confirming an attack by bandits, and he says they were planning to attack a construction company working along the highway and abduct some of their workers, but they were repelled, and in the course of that repelling action, some of the personnel died. But joining us to look at the situation in Zamfara state is the spokesperson to the Zamfara state governor, Mr. Suleiman Bala Idris. Mr. Idris, thank you for joining us. Okay, so Mr. Idris, the situation there, of course, you heard the Commissioner of Police. Just let us know, what's the situation now in Zamfara state?
Yeah. Actually, there was an incident yesterday along the Gusau-Funtua highway. Some bandits attacked the highway along close to Safe local government area. But the situation was curtailed by the security forces, a sad incident that caused the lives of some of the security officers. But I want to assure you that there is the situation in Zamfara state. We are recording positive outcome in the fight against banditry in the state. Just this morning, I heard of a news that a key bandit leader was neutralized last night. And there is ongoing operation in most of the volatile areas in the state, not just the Gusau to Funtua highway. And yesterday, the clip that you played of the Commissioner of Police was from an event where the governor provided operational vehicles to DPOs across the state, and also with additional vehicles that will be used for patrol along the, especially the Gusau-Funtua highway, because that is now the hot area in Zamfara state. Okay. It's one of the most volatile areas in the state. So what the governor did yesterday, he provided 24 operational vehicles. These operational vehicles will be used to patrol in constant patrol of the volatile highways in the state.
All right, Mr. Idris, you used a word there that sparked up a question as I was hoping to ask you later on. You used the word fight against banditry, and I want to ask you, is it really a fight or a negotiation? Because as my colleague mentioned earlier, we see letters and statements flying up and down about possible exchange of monies between the government of Zamfara state and bandits?
Ideally, we are not respond. We don't usually respond.
Oof. Well, it looks like we've temporarily lost Mr. Idris, but we will definitely get back to and hope.
Do you mean we want to give money to bandits or for negotiation?
Mr. Idris, could you just go back again? I think we missed something there. You said ideally you don't do what?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. You were saying ideally
what I'm
you
saying
don't.
Is that I was telling a colleague last week that it doesn't even make sense to expect us that we put down a memo that we want to give bandits money, assuming we want to give money out to bandits. It is not expected of us to put down a memo, because that memo will remain there. Even if we finish this administration, go, another administration come, that memo will remain there. And you expect us to just put it down that we are giving so bandits leaders so amount of money. It doesn't make sense. It's just a forged document, and the secretary to the state government responded to that. He did a conference responding to that they forged his document, and the security, we filed a report to the Commissioner of Police, to the relevant security authorities that this is what happened, and we want the security to do their work to fish out the person behind this forgery. And I want to assure you that very soon the culprit will be apprehended and we'll charge him to court for forgery. Because it doesn't even make sense that the Zamfara state government is giving money out to bandits. We stated from the beginning of this administration that no negotiation whatsoever with the bandits in Zamfara state.
I mean, Mr. Idris, so just so we're clear, I mean, it's very instructive that you said this morning. This letter by Malam Abubakar Emna Kwaba, Secretary to the State Government, that talks about, you know, giving out these monies to kidnap kingpins, including one that we heard the military talk about recently, Bello Turji. So you're saying this is a forged document, to be clear?
Yes, of course. It's a forged document.
Now, the issue is, you know, over the past few months, we've been hearing stories about negotiations with bandits. In fact, we heard about community negotiations with bandits so that they don't come and attack my community. Let's see who can give them something. And we did hear, hold on, sir. We did hear from the governor that these things were happening behind his back. Could you give us the status of that situation right now?
Well, I think even the people behind the clandestine negotiation in Zamfara state are not, it's not ongoing anymore because of the position of the state government, because of the governor's position. He's always saying it at any given opportunity that there is no negotiation with the bandits, that the state government, this is our position, and we are not shifting grounds, that this is our position. We are not negotiating with bandits. And it's a clear message to the bandits and the communities. I'm not sure, and I don't have that information that some communities were negotiating with bandits. But what I knew before was that some people, some elements that are happy with the security situation in Zamfara state were behind a clandestine negotiation with the bandits, doing it behind the state government without the governor knowing that negotiation is ongoing. And that time we addressed the issue. The governor was on air. I think last few months he was on this program, Sunrise Daily, and he made it clear that there is no negotiation with bandits and he will not do it, and the state government is not willing to do it in the future. So that is our position. There is no negotiation and we will never do it with the bandits.
So let's talk a bit about the situation in Zamfara. We've seen, is it getting better or is it getting worse? Because it does feel like whenever we take one step forward, it feels like 3 steps backwards are taken afterwards. Because we just heard from the military, you know, things that they have done, you know, attacks that have been done. Then we now start to see the videos online. Then we hear about something else good that the military has done, and then we now start to hear about something else. And then while we're busy thinking things are about to get better in Zamfara, all of a sudden yesterday, a kidnapping on the highway. And the message that we're getting is that it was targeted at the staff of Setraco who are along that road. What's really going on? What's the major challenge with securing Zamfara state from bandits?
You see, that is what happens when you have sabotage in play. What is happening in Zamfara is a clear sabotage, because I want to assure you that there is the security situation in Zamfara is not as bad as last year, because a lot of bandits were neutralized in the past few months. And there are a lot of success stories. But you know, security, there are security situations that you don't come out with the public and the media and be explaining that this is what happened, this is what happened, this is, because you will just preempt the effort of the security forces.
I need to be able to get that clarification from you, Mr. Idris. When you say sabotage, sabotage from who?
Yes, from enemies of the state. There are people at the higher authority that are enemies of Zamfara state. They're just using the security situation to be playing politics. And we all know them, the president knows them. And they are at the higher level of authority, but they are playing politics with this, because they all they're after is to tarnish the image of the state governor.
I mean, when you say places of high authority, I mean, forgive my curiosity, but when you say people in the higher levels of government, you say you know them. Are there names that you can give, or are there people that we know? You said the president knows them.
I can't be mentioning names, but what I want to assure you is that these are people that are playing politics because they don't want to see the end of banditry in Zamfara state. All they want to see is to be pushing blame the state governor. They are just, it is itching them that the governor is doing a lot of things that previous administrations couldn't do, but the governor has achieved that in just a period of 1 year. You have been recording our live coverages all this while. Within a year, I think we commissioned over 30 projects, major projects, not just mega live. All the stations have been covering the live events. So these are the things that are disturbing some of these politicians, that they want to be playing politics with the lives of people. They want to be saying, just imagine that letter, the forged document. It's just a clear handwork of these politicians that they're just after sabotaging the image of the state government. So no need to mention names, but definitely we have them, we know them, the president know them, the federal government know them, they are part of the federal government. These politicians are the ones behind all this sabotage.
You're making very strong allegations here. The government knows them, the federal government knows them. These are really strong allegations, and I do hope you know that you have to own your words.
Yes.
Well, besides all of this, some will say that at the grassroots, security begins from the grassroots. And we do know that there was a time when the state government, when the Zamfara government came up with a security watch, a local security watch. What's the status of that right now?
Protection guards.
Yes.
Community protection guards.
What's the status right now?
Yeah, the status, this community protection guards is still in operation because we have them. They were deployed across the local governments. That was the initial plan, to deploy them after training, to deploy them to the 14 local governments, because these are people that understand the terrain. They were sourced from the local governments, from their villages, from the towns. So they understand the terrain better than the security forces. So what this community protection guard do is when there is an incident, a report of maybe an incident in a locality, they quickly respond to try and curtail the situation before the security forces arrive at the place of the incident. So they are really doing well. And just last week, there was an incident in some local governments, local governments. We have witnessed how these community protection guards operated in that place, and they are working in synergy with the security forces. They are operating in synergy with the police, with the military. So not just the community protection guards, we also have the Security Trust Fund, which is a medium that we want to use to get funds for the operations of the security forces in the state, because this is the security situation is not something that people think that we can be able to handle it within a period of 1 year. This is something that has been on for over 20 years. But we are grateful to God that we are really achieving a lot in the areas of security in Zamfara state.
I mean, when you say that, we want to be able to believe it, but when we see the news and the stories coming from there, it's a little difficult for us to, believe that
I think the last time you heard of an incident in Zamfara state,
I mean, we've had situations of kidnappings, core members who were kidnapped along the highway. But let's talk. I know that a lot is being done. Don't get us wrong. We're not saying nothing is being done, but we're saying that it does feel like you make progress and then you're drawn back. Now, not too long ago, we saw the president, commissioning some vehicles that were given to the police in your state, and of course, people have been concerned about the mining activities there, cattle rustling situation there. And then this banditry and this kidnapping that's become a business that many people are engaging in. Many of the names in this, now you've told us, fake letter, many of these names are known to us because we keep hearing security agencies talk about these people as kingpins in your state. I mean, let's talk a bit about some of the work that has been done so far. I know that there's this guard in the states, there's a lot that is, put in place here and there. But when it comes to combating the banditry and getting some of these kingpins, what's the situation report, and especially collaborations between the state government and the Ministry of Defense in this regard?
Yes, there's collaboration between the state government and all the relevant security authorities. As we speak now, the Chief of Defense Staff is in Zamfara State. He's in Zamfara State already. He will meet with His Excellency, the Executive Governor, this morning, and it's all part of the synergy we are talking about. I mentioned earlier that our community protection guards doesn't operate in silos. They work hand in hand with the security forces, especially the soldiers and the police. So it's not as if the Zamfara state government is it doesn't have any synergy with the federal government. No, don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is that the operations, all the successes stories is the military and the police. What our CPG is doing is that they're just complementing the effort of the security forces. They're just giving an immediate response when there is an attack in a locality, because they were deployed to those localities. When there is attack in a locality, they quickly respond. They quickly respond to that attack before the security forces arrive at the scene.
I want to go back to that thing you said. Forgive me. You said that there's a meeting between the minister. Is it the Minister of State for Defense? Is it Mr. Matawale that's going to be meeting with the state governor today?
No, the CDS, Chief of
Defense Staff.
Yes.
Okay. What about that collaboration between the Minister of State for Defense and the governor? Because that was in the news as well. Has that situation been sorted?
You see, there's people always tend to politicize this issue of Zamfara security. There is collaboration. The governor have been saying this, that he is ready and willing to collaborate with anybody as far as that collaboration will bring an end to banditry in Zamfara State. Zamfara State government is willing to collaborate.
Yeah, but I want to get that clear. Has the governor met with the Minister of State for Defense, Mr. Bello Matawale? Have they met yet?
He met with the Minister for Defense, not the State Minister. You know, there is a minister, yes. Defense Minister.
So that meeting between the governor and Matawale has not happened, just to be clear.
Yes, has not happened.
Because many people believe, and the reason why I'm bringing that up, just so people can understand that context, is that for some people, for some politicians who have been speaking on the situation, the security situation in the state, they say there's some kind of divide between the governor and Mr. Matawale. And many people have blamed that situation for how the collaborations with security agencies have not been yielding the results that many people would want. So that meeting hasn't happened yet.
Right. They are not getting it right. They are not getting it right. Because as far as we're concerned is that the governor met with the president, and I think that is final when it comes to security decision. The governor is in a constant meeting with the NSA, in a constant meeting with the army chiefs, in a constant meeting with the IGP, in a constant meeting. And I told you that he met with the defense minister. So why are the reason why I say they got it wrong is that what difference will his meeting with Matawale make? There won't be difference because he's in touch with the president, in touch with the NSA, in touch with all the army chiefs, in touch with the defense minister. He's just a state minister.
Okay.
So they just confuse everything Because if you say that he must meet with Matole, is Matole in charge of all the security formation in the country? No.
Okay, Mr. Idris, as we begin to wind down, yes, there are reports in some quarters that people in high places in Zamfara are complicit in this security situation. You also alluded to that, and that's why I told you to take cognizance of what you're saying, because these are grave allegations. But now that security personnel are being victims, is there hope for the people of Zamfara in terms of resolving this security situation right now?
Yes, we always have these high hopes that the security situation will come to an end very soon, because I have said it earlier that the reports coming out from some of these localities are positive because of just last night. Cause of bandits were neutralized. Kingpins, not just ordinary bandits. So the hopes are high that the security will overcome the security situation. No matter what, we are on it, and the governor is determined to see an end to this.
Okay,
he's ready to collaborate with all security agencies and security forces and their heads.
Would this initiatives align with this school of thought that the biggest or the fastest resolution to any security challenge is good governance, where the people see good governance, they will stand to defend that governance? Would that align with this?
We agree to that school of thought in Zamfara, because that is the reason why the Zamfara state governor is doing all he's doing. Just day before yesterday, he flagged off the distribution of award letters to service providers for the construction of over 400 schools across the state. And also we have seen what he did in the area of education just within a year. Zamfara State that always was always at the bottom. I just recently, you have seen in the news that Zamfara emerged as the best performing state in the north and the second in the country. So that is the reason why we're trying to rescue Zamfara State from all the wrongs and to provide a good governance for the people. We believe in that school of thought that good governance can bring an end to insecurity.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Suleiman Bala Idris is a spokesperson to the Zamfara State Governor. Thank you for speaking with us this morning.
Thank you.
Sunrise Daily will take a moment, go on a quick break, and when we return, it will be time for Business Morning on the Sunrise Daily. Please stay with us.